Good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 38 in Saratoga, Talking Horses with my good friend Mike Beer. We were trying to decide when was the last time we were on the show together. And by the way, I'm Andy Serling. And I think you've been on the show, but we think without me since you were the regular co-host with me for a long time.
I know I've been on it a couple of times since, but I think the last time we did a show together was 2015, I'm going to say, 10 years, almost 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a long time.
Yeah, 2014-15 was when we were doing it
You
together.
were working for Timeform US, and we were doing the show, and those were great times. We appreciate having you here. For people wondering about Andy Beyer, he does normally appear today, but Andy's doing okay. He just, the Saratoga is going to be a little tough this year for him, but he is optimistic that he will be back next year. Doesn't mean we won't have you on one day. I'm happy to have you on anytime you want to come
Even
on.
I'd rather see
You're
Andy
always welcome.
here.
All right. Well, I don't know about that. That's okay. You're an able fill-in, but I do miss Andy. He's a great friend and a great friend of the game, despite what idiots say on the internet. Anyway, let's head over to NYRA Bets. We got a lot to talk about with 13 races today. NYRABets.com. Use the promo code SPA200, and we will match with $200 of your initial deposit. Play any track anywhere, anytime. NYRA Bets. Hit exact Del Mar, 20% bonus. You're playing Del Mar. Opt in for that. Of course, the Pacific Classic, 9 o'clock tonight. I look forward to watching that at dinner tonight. You like anybody in there? You've probably had to do like 7 videos for it.
I mean, I did not get Del Mar on my schedule this week.
Wow.
I'm just kind of hoping that Nyso stretches out, because I think he's a real good horse, and I want him to be able to run in the Classic.
I agree with that. I also hope Journalism runs well. I'm a big fan, and I'm curious to see what Fierces can do, because I have no confidence in him, but a lot of horses have been winning that I have no confidence in, so he might join that ever-growing list. Where are we next, Eddie? Cross Country Big Five, Summit Monmouth here as well, 3 stakes in total. The Taste of New York, head on over to the Family Zone by Gate A. Check out a lot of good stuff made in the state of New York. You've got one more day after today. We've got the quarter zip giveaway tomorrow, the final but most impressive of our giveaways. That'll be tomorrow while supplies last. Great day tomorrow, 14 races, including an incredible Jockey Club Gold Cup. Who'd you pick in there?
I went Mindframe over Sierra Leone, but it was really kind of a coin flip. And once I decided I wasn't going to bet against them, and I decided that, pretty early on, then I don't care who wins. I just want them both to run.
I'm scared of Highland Falls, but I do. I agree. I like them both. I'm a big Sierra Leone fan, but I'm a big Mindframe fan. I think I think Sierra Leone's better, and he ran better than Foster. But I have a lot of respect for him. I mean, just the fact that he ran so well in the Belmont last year and just his third start, man. Most horses completely fold in those circumstances, and he almost won. He could be undefeated. He's really never not run a winning race in any race he's ever been in.
I just love to, and I guess you could still say distance is maybe a question for him, but again, the Belmont suggests it isn't. And just the fact that he can win a Grade 1 at 7 and then run so well at 1.25 miles,
it's a great matchup and a great day of racing for sure. And the show today, we're on a new network today. How about this one? We're on YouTube from 1:12 to 3 and 6 to 7, but we were on Fox Business from 3 to 6. That'll be my first appearance on Fox Business.
Fox Business.
I'm wondering if it'll be my last. Probably not. Anyhow,
behave
Fox
yourself.
Business 3 to 6. I'll try, but behaving myself is no fun. Come on, Mike. You've been around me a long time. We're old friends. Race number 1. I think there's a lot of horses in here that might be okay, but they're not necessarily that good. Imagine John took a big step back last time, would run well first-time races. Jenna's had a very good meet. Nay Baby got drowned. I thought Waiting on a Sunny Day was the one I wanted. Didn't break that sharply. It wasn't really a bad stumble of any kind, really. It was just kind of, whatever, but Bobrovsky ran so big. They started trying to chase him, and I took him, I wouldn't say reluctantly, but it's hard to feel like this race that you can trust any of these horses, and that's why I guess you went to a firster.
That was my problem too, and usually I don't want first-time starters in any race, particularly when other horses have already started, because you see so much improvement.
Right.
My problem with the horses that have already run in this race is I just don't think any of them did anything particularly special first time out. Now they did run in some good races. I mean, Nay Baby, who got bet, a little bit in that race. I personally just didn't think he ran that well, and I'm really concerned that he didn't have any speed at all in that race. But that was a really good race, man. I mean, the winner of that race got an 83 Beyer speed figure. I mean, so that was just a really strong maiden race. So maybe that's meaningful. I just didn't like the race that he ran, and I thought he'd take money in here. And then you have the 2 horses out of the Bobrovsky race, which I think is a good race. And so
he's good.
He is good. And so I'm trying to not be too hard on those horses. I'm just not sure that they're any good. And so
your horse has pedigree. Your horse has more pedigree in a dam side than any horse in this race.
This is what I liked about him. McPeak does feel like maybe he's starting to heat up here at the end of the meet. This horse has a really big pedigree, though. He's a Midnight Loot. The dam did win her career debut late in her 2-year-old season. 95 Beyer speed figure winning first time out. And then she won 2 graded stakes races in her next 2 starts. I mean, she was a real good horse.
She was very precocious.
Yeah, very precocious, real good horse. And then, McPeak, he's not one of those guys, I don't think you think about him as cranking up his 2-year-olds to win. But and he had the one win 2 days ago.
He's gotten bet. And that's the thing. Like I should have picked the one yesterday. I made a comment. He has those good numbers on the turn back second. I'm going turf to dirt.
Yeah.
And that horse, even at 9-1, took money in there. And the one that won the other day at like 7-2, that horse was betting. He was shot out of a cannon.
And again, I was gonna say too. He does. You don't think of him as cranking him up, but just over the last year, he's now 9 for his last 55. With 2-year-old first-time starter sprint 9 dirt. It's 16%. The ROI is $3.50. So it's not like they're all getting bet. And
they rarely are
3 for 8 at Saratoga in that sample with a huge ROI. So, I mean, these horses can win. I feel like maybe this horse has found a pretty good spot here.
And what I like is he's a half to Park Monceau. And you may remember, do you remember, she won, I think it was a filly, won for Mike Hushin, one of the great meltdown races in the history of racing at Belmont. She either won or ran second, where literally they went from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to the opposite.
Oh, really?
They all,
I don't know if I remember that.
And all the horses involved with the pace came back and did really well in subsequent starts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's one of the great meltdown races of all time back at Belmont. I think it was a pretty fast race as well. Race number 2, the horses that have experience basically are buried on the also eligibles and did not get in.
Yeah.
I have this interest in the same horse as you. I'll let you talk about Twirling Lad. 1 or 2 for my man Horacio De Paz.
Yeah, I actually wanted Jack's World, the 11. That's who I was really looking forward to betting in here. That horse did not get in. And so I didn't change my picks and substitute somebody else in there as a top pick. I just moved Twirling Lad up to make him my top pick here, and I have no problem with that because I like this horse, even with Jack's World.
Caroline Thomas, second dam.
Yeah, just it's just a turf pedigree. This horse is supposed to be a turf horse, and I like the idea of being rained off first time and just letting him run and get a little bit of race experience out there. He did a lot of chasing that day. I'm going to assume that he got a little something out of that race. Of course, the winner did come back and win the funny side too, so seems like I got beat by a pretty good horse anyway.
A very fortunate winner of the funny side.
Very fortunate, but got the job done anyway. Maybe a very fortunate winner first time out too. I don't know. I feel like this horse is turf meant. I like that he has a race now. I just think he's going to take a step forward here. With the
both of Horacio's horses have a little pedigree, but I agree with you on this one. As far as Coach Ryan, I think this horse is probably a runner for Chad Brown. A slumber. We've seen Saul Kuhlman, who bred this horse, have some success with the slumbers, and I'm going to guess this is a first-time starter. It does really seem like the ones trained at Monmouth come up here with intention. I mean, they have done a great job down there with firsters, horses off layoffs over the last few years at the very least.
Yeah, I think you see that a lot, not just from Chad, but from other trainers too. It's weird too because I try to make this like. I look at this horse and I say he's a New York bred, so you feel like if they're going to run him, they're going to run him in New York. So why isn't he stabled here? And I don't. It probably means nothing.
It means nothing. But, some of it is they're not sure they're going to be ready for the meet too. So I wonder a little bit if it's a case of leaving him down there because and then now it's the end of the meet and suddenly the horse is ready to run, whereas maybe they anticipated running him down at Aqueduct. The 4 you're looking good, has some pedigree. I have to Noble Emotion, a horse you have in there.
And I thought this horse was, had plenty of pedigree anyway to at least be a decent run. I love the Mendelssohns on turf. I love the Mendelssohns particularly routing on turf. So I like this horse's pedigree. Amelia Green, she's another one who's starting to win some races here.
Yes,
the end
she was
of the
very
meet.
cold for a while, and she has been heating it up quite a bit. I agree. Had a stake win with
really good post position here. You mentioned the other DePaz horse, the 10-time to roll. I really like that horse's pedigree. I'm just boy, that's a big gapped tab in there. Like, there's a bunch of breaks in the work tab that I just didn't like, combined with post 10. So I sort of tried to stay away from that horse, but I'm not going to be surprised if he can run.
Well, Elise has had consistent works for the last 4 works. I think Gaming Wizard might be the best pedigree of all. Speaking of Kenny McPeak, I have to 3 turf winners. The second dam is Duda, who's that good horse for Mott. The problem is it's game winner, and I know he's a candy ride, but he's just had very little success with his turf runners so far, but there is a strong dam side pedigree.
I agree. Couldn't get past the game winner either.
All right, we'll see what happens in race 2. Race number 3, I was all prepared to go all in on Sheriff Bianco in race number 3. No surprise that he's scratched, Linda. I thought he was going to need a drop down. I wonder if the connections didn't really want to drop. What's up, bro? We'll take a look at him beating Factually Correct last time. And my question for you is, are you confident he's going to get loose in here? You know, Runaway Joke has got to go from the inside. I think Tencent Town has some speed, even Factually Correct. And I feel like in this race, they just abdicated the lead to him. And I'll tell you something. We have a lot of riders riding here today that don't normally ride here. So they may not have got the memo that you don't necessarily send speed horses. So I thought this horse might find a much tougher pace scenario today.
Yeah, I'm worried about that too. And I listen, and I won't be surprised if What's Up, Bro, because he's a really good gate horse.
My picks are 4, 3, 5, 7. The 6 is scratched. 4, 3, 5, 7. Sorry, Mike.
No, that's fine. Here's how What's Up, Bro gets loose on the lead again, though. Runaway Joke's a really fast horse. He's not a great gate horse. I don't know if you went back and looked at any of his Finger Lakes races. There were a bunch of them where he just does not break sharply from the gate. And if he misses the break from the rail, I don't know who picked up the mount here because it's obviously not going to be Jose Lezcano, but this horse, he's not a great gate horse. So if he doesn't get out of there, you might see What's Up, Bro out there on a clear lead, at least for a little while. Even if he doesn't break, they got to send this horse up there. He's actually pretty good. Are you way against the one in here? You don't have him anywhere. I actually think he's a pretty good horse.
He is good, but I think he's got to deal with other speed in this race, and there's a higher level of horse that he's running in here. I have no problem with Trust Fund, who I thought beat the track a little bit last time.
I just really like the form that he's gotten back into. I guess if I wanted to say I was mildly concerned that he was supposed to be in that What's Up, Bro race. He was listed as a vet scratch. I don't know what that means. But he was supposed to be in that What's Up, Bro race.
He has gap of when it works from August 2nd to August 23rd. So my guess was he was sick.
Yeah, maybe.
That would be my guess.
Here's his last race that you were talking about. I just thought he ran, not only did he run really well here, his win 2 starts back, and I know it was a 2-life claiming race, he ran great in that race. He did not get a good trip in there. And even though it's a 2-life claimer, the horse that he ran down, Reynolds Channel, was another drop down there. And he's not your typical 2-life claimer either. He's a really good horse. So I think that was a legit win, 2-back. It was a legit win last time. And this is a horse who, to me, is just finally rounding back into form. He was a good 2-year-old. I don't know if you remember him breaking his maiden up here first time, but he ran great that day. And whatever, it was a really long layoff there, and it took him a while to get back into form. But he seems like he's back in form now.
And Todd must be very happy he didn't get claimed 2-back. And
I think so.
It's tough to claim from Todd, and Todd's having a super meet. I mean, he is this trainer's title is far from decided. And his horses, a lot of 2-year-olds, but his horses have been really running. As far as Tencent Town, I scratched into. We'll see. The Dutro Barn's been a little cold. And it does go to Ilke Cantermachi, and I thought this horse ran extremely well last time.
Me too.
He was involved in a pace that just incinerated late and hung around till the end. I know he's burned a lot of money, but I feel like today he won't be that short a price.
Yeah, that's what I like. I don't have him in there either, but I do think you'll get a fair price on him. And he's clearly good enough to win. He's got plenty of races that make him tough in here, and maybe the right running style too.
Yeah,
should be up close.
I think he should be close enough.
He doesn't need the lead.
I'm going to try to beat the 5 in this race.
Here's the one thing that held me back of putting him higher in my picks, and maybe with the scratch of Sheriff Bianco, I could have changed things up. But you were talking about Dutro being cold. Sparn, they're good off the claim, but they're cold, man. Their last win up here was July 24th. And I think they're 0 for 35 since then up here. So they're not really winning races anymore. I think they got off to a pretty hot start here.
They did.
They're not winning races anymore.
Okay, it's good to note. Listen, I mean, they're terrific guys, but nothing. But that's that's the facts of the game. And by the way, with Jose Lezcano, he did. If you didn't hear, I believe he fractured his collarbone yesterday. PJ Campo, his agent, had texted me to tell me, and I know I join everybody in wishing him a speedy recovery. And that was just unfortunate. And we hope that Jose's back with us soon. It's a lousy break for him, who's a good guy and a good rider as well. Race number 4. Let's start by talking about Set in race number 4 because he's in great form. And the reality is, in some ways, you could say he's the horse to beat, but I feel like he's meeting tougher horses today, as well as where Rolo has been running. Today's race might be a little saltier.
Yeah, that's how I looked at it, too. I'm just going to be, and I'm
in good form.
I'm going to be willing to be wrong about this horse. I just don't like him in this race today, and I want to bet other horses. I don't want to. Not only do I want to bet him, I don't really want to use him in this race. And I'm just willing to be wrong about him. He's in good form. He's probably just a good horse anyway. His race against Wararlo was good 2 starts back. I'm troubled by his last race. I know he won easily, Come on, man.
These
How
are
did
better
he get
horses.
loose? How did he get loose on the lead in that race? First of all, yeah, it was a way weaker field than this one. I don't know how he just got
He just
loose on a
walked on the
walking
front
pace in there. He's going to be one of the favorites in here. I don't want him. Of the two favorites, I wanted Credit Worthy more than Set, but I also don't know how much I want Credit Worthy.
Yeah, I believe his rider, I'm not sure, is going to be Jose Gomez or something. I'm not sure. Or maybe Christopher Elliott. I'm not sure. We haven't announced those changes. It's a little bit early today. I agree. I think he's fine,
Yeah.
Is he as good as his dirt race off the turf two back? He had been working very well. It turns out he's a sloppy track, turf-type horse. He's run some fast figures early in his career, and he could be really good.
His turf races are good, too. I mean, the dirt race was good, too, back, but his turf races are good, too.
But no trip handicapper at all is ignoring bonus move today. I mean, this horse did not have a particularly good trip 2 races back. Last time out was a nightmare. I'm not sure he would have beaten Run Curtis Run, but I guarantee you he would have been second. I mean, his trouble, and we'll show the start, he breaks. It starts right away in the turf sprints when you get left. But you're in trouble right away, especially if you're a forward horse. And he breaks about 3/4 of a length slowly there. And it's just a bit of a nightmare from there. He's allowed to drift way too far back for a horse that really needs to be and should be much more forwardly placed. And I'm hoping with Kendrick we'll see that. He's got a break, and that, I'm not pinning that in the rider last time. But he lost position. And then in the stretch, every decision made turned out to be the wrong one.
Yeah, this just doesn't.
The light blue and back.
Yeah, it just doesn't work out here. I mean, it seems like he's got a chance to maybe get outside here, but he doesn't. And he either doesn't have the horse or he doesn't take it.
The door gets closed on,
And now he goes back inside, and he actually run. It looks like from this point he's not going to run. He actually runs at the end. He gets a little seam of daylight here at the end, and he actually runs at the end of the race. I won't be too hard on Johnny for that, right? Just because,
a lot of bad
as
luck.
you pointed out, he got bumped pretty hard at the start. I think that's why he wound up so far back early. But
he was bumped hard after the break. He got left a little, and then he got slammed.
But your other point about him is well taken, because he didn't have a chance to get forward because of the trouble last time. But he's a good gate horse in general. The race 2 starts back. I'm more troubled by that one because he broke great in that race. And then they just didn't go. They let somebody else take the lead, and he wound up in all kinds of traffic through the stretch. I don't know how many more chances I want to give him, Andy, but I'll give him one more today.
I agree. It's getting a little bit tiresome. There's been big prices in those races, but Kendrick has taken advantage of every opportunity he's been given. And, you think about that win the other day in Bosun. Horse that had no business being forward in there, and Kendrick got him forward in a paceless race, and that's why he won.
That's right.
And, there's been a lot of great riding here this summer. I think you could probably, if you were to look at races won by riders where the rider made the biggest difference, Kendrick has as many, if not more, than any rider in that room this week.
Yeah, there are other people can speak about that way better than I can, but I will say I've noticed it with him, and I've noticed it with Ricardo Santana, too.
Yes, Ricardo is obviously having a fabulous meet. Race number 5. I think race number 5 is a very, very tricky race. And I think one of the things in here, we'll talk about a horse you have second, I could have been higher, is Scythian, who apparently is working very well.
Yeah.
Problem I have is she's 5-2 morning line, going the dirt after a somewhat dismal, though, sprinting race first time out, and improved so much on the turf. And she's going to get bet so heavily. She's stake-faced, she's working well, and she may win, but I don't want her at 5-2 in here.
That's why I didn't put her on top. I do think she's going to run well here. It does look like she's training really well. Here's a question that I have for you. Just about, I know her form is turf from last year, but they did debut her sprinting on dirt. She ran fine that day. She was only second best.
She ran terribly.
She ran fine. Would she switch to turf after that because Mach just wanted more distance for her, and he didn't want to run her back in another sprint race? I know that. Listen, and I know you could look at it. There's turf in there, but it's not like it's all turf. Listen, the Dam, all of her wins, and she was a stakes winner, were routing on the dirt, and she's a sister to read the footnotes, and he was a dirt horse. There's a lot of dirt in there too, and I know that she won first time on turf, and then she won a stakes with that.
But
like
she was so lucky up the gold rail when the whole thing knocked the horses out.
And then she wins the Miss Grillo, and she's opportunistic. Yeah, right. I mean, so. I'm not so sure that she was on turf because of the surface. She might have been there for distance, and now she gets to run back, longer races back on dirt here. I don't want her off the layoff, and I don't want her as the favorite in this race, but I do think she can win.
Those are very valid points. I don't disagree. Let's talk about our pick, the 8, and I'm guessing that you and I saw the exact same things, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, you don't want to take it? This is what I saw 2 things about this horse. first of all, do you want to talk about the last race first, or do you want to talk
Well,
about the overall
she
form?
stumbled at the start,
Yeah.
and then they just wrapped up on her.
Yeah, to me, when I watched it back, I'm convinced that they were prepping her for that. After the little stumble to start, Jose, she was on the outside for a little while. He just
You can
took
watch
a-
it. Watch it.
He
We're-
just,
it's
go
what
back.
happened.
Yeah, you can form your own opinions about it. You don't have to listen to us, but he just took a hold of her, waited for everybody to clear him from the inside so he could get to the rail. And then he just sat on the rail, and he did not ask her to do anything.
I don't
I
disagree.
think they were prepping to stretch her out for this race. She won 4 of the first times that they ran a mile. She won 4 of those races. One of them up here out of the chute, which is a very important thing. They're totally different races. And you got to be forward, too, out of the chute up here. You cannot give away position early. And she's got that kind of running style. She'll be forward in here.
I agree. And, you know, the other thing is she has fast enough races to win here. And maybe he felt something went wrong. She
Maybe.
didn't stumble that badly. She bobbled. But it's not any insinuations. It is
No,
what
no.
it is. You can watch the race and judge for yourself. I wanted to show Tough Street winning here last year because obviously she's dangerous dropping down. I will say this was a phonied up win with the nice expire because this was a big speed bias that day. And I think she sort of rode the bias. On the other hand, what chance did she have against Weigh the Risks last time? And she was wide against a good rail in that landed race back in February. She's running where she belongs. I don't want a short price, but she's running where she belongs.
I agree. I mean, I think there are 2 ways to sort of look at her. I mean, I think it is fair to ask yourself if you think she can still run.
The clock may have struck 12.
Maybe she just can't run anymore. But it's also pretty easy to sort of make excuses for her recent races. Weigh the Risks landed. Even Ain't Broke, who beat her at 3 stars, but that's a really good horse. I mean, this is just a way better spot for her. I just don't know if she can still run. And she's another. It's not like she's going to be a great price in here. So
well, that's the thing.
I'm taking
right.
somebody else.
I don't need the short price.
Yeah.
Listen, I think the Swedish Princess is dangerous off the claim for Linda, giving the horse a lot of time. She has good percentages giving him time, but they're mostly short-priced horses. This horse won't be a short price today, Swedish Princess. I put her 4th, but
Yep. I took a long look
she
at
can
that
win.
horse too. What about Kali Magic? Oh, you got Kali
I
Magic.
bet Kali
in there,
Magic
too?
last time out, and she folded her tent, but that was
Yeah.
a much tougher
Tougher
field
race.
in this one.
This is her.
and
this
she's
is her man.
speed.
This
so,
is her race right here.
Yeah, I agree.
The last 7 times they run her in this condition, she won 5 of them. I mean, this is where she belongs.
I completely agree. I mean, I probably just overly optimistic last time, and I better. But I agree. This is a very, very interesting race. And
Yeah.
I think one of the things that appeals to me about the 8 is that she can win, and she's going to be a bit of a price. And I feel like
Yeah.
I want to bet somebody at a bit of a price here. Race number 6. We're going to show Stradale, and we're going to start out by showing the start of the race pan and head on. And the fact is that he was completely taken out of the race by the winner of here. And you see the bad stumble after clipping heels back to last, or be forward, and you're going to see the head on of this race. She's the number 3, or he is, excuse me, and the number 4 of this race going to come over on this horse severely after the start and really cause a problem there. It's a gate issue. I understand why they didn't adjudicate it, but nonetheless, this horse was taken out of the race when the 4 came over in there, and I thought still ran remarkably well in here.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, after you see all the trouble at the start, that's fine, and that is enough of an excuse for this horse. But then to actually watch the rest of the race and to see that the run that he actually makes in here, I mean, very easy to look at this and feel like he was a super unlucky loser first time out. And he's supposed to be dangerous right back, but we have a horse who's dealing with a gate issue, and now he's got the rail going 7. I don't know if it was necessarily
I don't know
his
it's a gate
fault.
issue.
No, you think
I think he broke a little slow, and
Yeah.
then the 4 just listen. They go to
Yeah,
empty
yeah.
spaces and came over
Yeah.
on him in there. Further ado, you've got on top. I watched and watched, and I just don't know if this horse can run.
I think he can.
Okay.
We'll see. It'll be very interesting
I got
to
him
see.
third.
He
I'm
was.
not-
I will say that the one thing that I don't love about him is you don't see a lot of Brad. He's so good with his first-time starters, Brad Cox, that you don't see a lot of them who look like they have no idea what they're doing out there. To me, when I watched that race, Further Ado, had no idea what he was doing out there. First of all, he held up the start for a long time, and he wouldn't go in the gate. And then when he did, to me, he was green right from the start of that race. And when you go back to and watch the stretch run there, I don't know if it was him or if it was the horse who was inside, but he sort of started drifting in there. I read completely stopped riding this horse in the upper stretch. And I actually feel like he kind of overreacted a little bit and just totally broke this horse's momentum. And then he ran again. To me, he looked like a horse who really needed that first
He's a
start.
gun
He's
runner.
come back with 3 breezes since then. Brad has, really good numbers with horses like this. He's good with first-time starters. He's great with second-time starters, sprinting on the dirt 2-year-olds. I think there's a lot to like about this horse, and I'm going to take a shot that he's going to take a big step forward here and beat the one.
Well, Nick Tamara woke up Brad Cox. I woke up Pletcher earlier in the meet. Nick decided to do it as well. Acosta's good. You know, you've got the horse fourth, but there is an argument, and this is one we did in the Stewards review, and they just felt that the contact was very late in here.
Yeah.
But the winner does come out, and the winner's a player in the hopeful tomorrow, and I think Acosta's horse is only going to get better with more distance. I think this horse could win here, and this horse could be a factor in the Champagne, though Tom announced that his monster, It's Our Time, is going to be running the Champagne as well. And I think Dean Reeves told me he's pointing that really good maiden he had for Gargan earlier. It was Gargan, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that horse was
I was
very
I
impressive.
was wondering where that. I was looking for that horse. In the
Yeah, I was
hopeful.
talking about the other day.
Boy,
and
that horse was awful.
He
good
said they
one.
were going to wait. They wanted to give him a little more time,
Right.
wait for the Champagne.
That horse was awful good one. Yeah, I have no real problem with the cost, except that I wanted further ado out of that race.
Okay.
And so I took him. And then really, if I'm being honest here, then you don't have the 7 in there anyway.
The Gun Runner,
That's
the right
the other
surface.
horse for me. This horse is bred to be a dirt horse. Had a brutal trip first time out, and now comes right back on dirt. I think this horse is super
And this can be a
dangerous,
good move for Cassie to do this. I actually have Silent Scheme in there a little bit. By the way, I don't think the 8's impossible. And Chad Summers having a very good meet. And this horse, I don't think this horse ran that badly last time out behind Ewing. And Silent Scheme, I like the 21-2 workout for this horse because it just felt like they never really asked this horse to run to Charlotte's. And I thought this one could be a little dangerous outside as well. It's a good race.
Yeah, it's a good race. I thought this first for Silent Scheme. I agree with all that stuff. I just don't want a first-time starter in this race. With a bunch of horses that have already run really well, and I know that Tartable faced Ewing first time out. I'm not sure he gets off any easier against this field.
So basketball surpassed baseball.
Oh yeah, wow.
When I think of
Very
Danny Tartable,
clever.
I think of the Seinfeld with the uniforms and George in the uniforms.
Yeah.
That's the first 6. We'll take a break. We'll be back with the last 7 in just a moment.
You bet with Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. Download the Naira Bets app to play today and get a $200 deposit bonus. Watch live horse racing. Get expert picks. Boost your bankroll with weekly promotions and hone your handicapping skills with exclusive tips and tutorials. Download the Naira Bets app now. Sign up now to claim your $200 deposit match bonus. You bet with Naira Bets.
Welcome back to Talking Horses. Mike Beer, Daily Racing Form. Let's look at the Prioress. And I think we both... Oh, you went the other way. And you're a little more against Long Neck Paula than I would have thought. We'll show the last race. What is your knock? I thought her last race was very good. Or maybe you just don't trust her to run it again?
No, I do. I don't have any. I wouldn't say that I have a knock on her. I've actually been a big Long Neck Paula fan right from the start. Even when she wasn't necessarily running fast races as a 2-year-old, I loved her. I thought she was way better than she looked on paper. And I still like her. I still think she's good. 2 things. She's not going to be any price in here.
No.
That's one. And the other... she ran well in here. To me, she's supposed to win. I understand if you disagree with that.
Winner's okay, though.
Yeah, she's fine. I just feel like I wanted her to win there. I liked her that day. I'm not going to bet her back in this race, and I'm not going to, go on. It's not like I'm way against her, Andy. I picked the 3 who's going to be the favorite in here.
Race.
I don't love this horse. I don't love this race.
She was very impressive.
I just don't love
this
the prior race as a race. I don't love this race. She was really good in here and really
She runs this
fast.
race, she's going to win.
And it's just not a super strong field. So, and I just tried. As far as having Long Neck Paula third, I just trying to split the favorites with somebody else.
I'm thinking about history. First of all, first race off of Lasix. 0 for 17 for Phil Bauer. He's done okay second time off Lasix, but first time he struggled. And she reminds you of that really good horse that was favored in here that Brightwork beat off the layoff last year. Yeah. She was off Lasix, coming in off a huge maiden win here. Too sharp. I think. Too sharp.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was kind of a similar situation. So I kind of thought of that. What's your deal with Robbie Medina's horse on the outside?
It's almost exactly the same. Yeah, I just wanted to split the 2 favorites. If there was a little less speed in this race to the inside, I probably would have picked Praying on top
Really?
and better in here. Just on the off chance
Maybe a
that she's
big
good. Her
price.
races aren't great this year, although I did not think she ran poorly off the layoff at Oaklawn in March.
Finished second Echo Sound last year at
That's the thing.
Keeneland,
I mean,
who could be the best sprinting filly. I know she didn't run well in the test.
And
but-
Praying ran really well in that race too. It's not like she sort of
Right.
lucked into second. She ran that day. This is a filly who ran Buyers of 78 and 79 as a 2-year-old last year. I mean, she could easily improve and go with these horses. I just wish she was in better. Her last race is particularly bad. Her race at Oakland was okay, but it wasn't great.
I'll tell you something also interesting about her now, and I'm looking at her more, and you're talking about her, and all the respect I have for your opinion. She's eligible for a non-winners of 1. And Ryan Medina's not an idiot.
Yeah.
And he's shipping her all the way here to run for a stake. If she had 2 or 3 wins and he didn't have any other options, I would understand it a little better.
Yeah.
This is obviously a very optimistic move for him. And a lot of times when trainers, and if you don't know Robbie is, he worked for Shug many years.
Yep. And it's not like it's a super strong
He's
prior,
also
by
in
the way.
that very inexclusive club of people that don't like me.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
he's got that going for him as well.
But listen, it's not. Maybe Delightful Claire turns out to be really good, but this is not a super strong prior.
I agree. I think the 3 and 5 are okay,
Yeah.
but it is winnable. I think,
I
and
think
I
it
think
is.
especially if, like, I think you are suspecting a 5 running back to her last fig because her other figs aren't that much better than the 6s, and I'm suspecting the 3 running back for that big race last time.
Yeah.
So if it turns out, it's
There you
hard
go.
to beat 2 good horses,
yeah,
but
that's the problem.
that horse could be a little interesting. I kind of overlooked her. I think you make good points. Race number 8. I am going to go to the horse. We have a reverse order here. I do not have any videos for this race. I watch, first of all, these Rapoli Pletcher horses. I know a lot of them are on turf,
Yeah.
but they're really running. And
They are.
it's not just that, though. I mean, this horse just got away sluggishly in there, got slammed by the number 5 and just taken out of the race. And that was a really good field, I think. And I watched the race, and I just thought, this horse just kind of lost every chance at the start. Now draws so well on the outside. The one thing that bothers me a little bit is the fact that he wasn't betting there, and he's got enough pedigree, but now he draws so perfectly, going 7 furlongs, second time out, and I just wanted to take him over firsters that I'm guessing with.
I'm always trying to lean towards horses that have already run. I didn't do it in this case, but I could have easily put Grittiness on top. I guess I thought his debut was fine. I didn't love it. I didn't expect him to be that effective in a 6 or 6.5 furlong sprint. His pedigree is long. It's not short. I think he's the kind of horse who can really benefit from a race. He didn't have any speed at all in that race, which, I don't love that. But maybe he'll be a little bit
But he
sharper
also got
in here.
slouted at the
He
start,
did.
so
No,
my
he did.
guess is he'll be a lot closer today. I'm not saying he'll be in front.
I can see that. I don't know. I'm not way against him, but it's not like I love him. And he's a horse who's probably supposed to take some money in here. It looks like this Asmussen first or the 6. It looks like this horse might be able to run. And I'm no expert in watching workouts, but I've seen a couple of them, and this horse has looked pretty good in the morning.
Yeah, he's after Leo Frick. They paid a fortune
Yes.
for him. It is Winchell Thoroughbreds with Resolute, but Winchell Thoroughbreds, they seem to have runners in these races. I agree with you there. I guess with the 5, I have no information on this horse. I have to Mixto. We got a lot of California, got a lot of good California horses. These horses are related to Mixto, who won a slightly weaker Peak Pacific Classic last
He
year,
did,
right?
Yeah. And was he second in the Dubai World Cup? Or
I think he was.
He didn't.
I think
He
you're
didn't
right.
win it. He
No,
was second
Pit
in-
Show won it.
Yeah, second Dubai World Cup. Yeah.
And who else should we touch on briefly as we should keep
I mean, I
rolling
guess
along?
there's another one of these Cassies in here. He's got a similar horse in the first division, and he's got Our Magical Moon in this division. They debuted him long on turf. He showed some speed. Really good
In a good
field he
field.
landed in, and this horse.
It's better dirt pedigree.
Yeah, more of a dirt pedigree, turning
Good
back to
magic,
7
the dam
furlongs.
side.
Yeah, I mean, I thought there was plenty to like about that.
What
horse.
about relevance? I mean, I'm not going to ignore these Chad Summers Gold Square horses. They seem like they're really live.
Yeah, the little pedigree here too.
Yep.
You have to get her number.
Get
right?
her
It's just-
number,
Could
yep.
do anything. That horse could do anything. He's run a million times. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm with you on the Chad Summers horses. I mean, everything he puts out there, even the ones that aren't winning, they're running
They
well.
have been live.
Yeah.
I totally agree. An interesting race. It feels like we've got some really good 2-year-old races this weekend, including today. Race number 9. Race number 9 is a bit of a crapshoot, but I do think we should start with the horse you have on top, and I have second, Shoot It True. I just didn't really want to take this horse as the favorite because I don't know how good this race was, but
Yeah.
the third-place finisher did improve dramatically out of it. Others came back and did not run well, but she made a mockery of this field.
She really did.
But they're not bad. They're sort of hard-knocking horses.
Yeah. I remember too handicapping this race to write my analysis and being like, I wasn't particularly sold on this horse
I
being.
picked Dalton Brown in this race, actually.
I wasn't particularly sold on her being a turf horse. Based on that, she is a turf horse.
Yeah.
I mean, she really ran it. And the other thing that.
Well, she's a good horse.
The thing that's the thing that's
not
what
some
swayed
bum
me.
that randomly ran
that's
well
what
on the
I'm
turf.
saying. That's what swayed me here because I like all of her dirt races. I mean, every one, even the races she didn't win, this horse ran great in those races. So I just think she's a good horse. And then I started looking at the field, and I initially wasn't going to take her back in here, but then I'm looking at all of these horses, Tales of the Heart, La Savel Dorena, all these horses.
La Savel Dorena was terrible last time.
Terrible last
Tales
time.
of the Heart. These horses are having so many chances.
That's
They
what
can
I'm saying.
win, but
yes, and I don't
tired
want
of them.
any of those horses anymore. And so I didn't know. And Solo Shot, who I bet last time at $1,000,000 to 1, I can see that horse being effective here.
I
And
bet
that
her
will be a
three-back.
price again. But I didn't want to pick her again. I picked her and I bet her last time. I didn't want to pick her again.
And
I don't
also,
know.
didn't she kind of just the accordion effect in that race? That race was just collapsing at the end.
Yes.
Because she really wasn't doing anything. She made
was-
a wide run, but
she
she
was
didn't do
wide
any
off the
meaningful
turn,
running.
but she made the same move that the winner made. She was right alongside the winner at the top of the stretch. The winner just ran away from her in there.
Well, the winner's okay.
Winner's
the
good,
winner
yeah,
is a
fine.
stakes horse,
Yeah, fine.
fake horse, so that
Yeah, I
just paid too big
the
a price.
The point I'm trying to make is I'm just tired of these horses that I've seen. So it led me back to Shoot It True, who I think could even move forward here, and maybe she doesn't even have to. But if she moves forward here, she's probably going to win.
I thought the horse you have second was a little sneaky, ran fast first time, and last time out just lost all chance at the start, getting run out. And she could be a little more dangerous and be forward here.
Tried to put her on
this
top.
race.
I mean, she was only 8 to 1 against a bunch of these horses last time, and she totally blew the start.
I want to talk about a couple other horses. Let's watch Miriam's Fire's maiden win. And, I think Miriam's Fire fits what you're talking about in here, which I agree with, because she's a new face to the crew. I know she shocked everybody first time, and I think it's possible that being inside was a bit of an advantage. I'm not sure of it, though, watching it. And you know what? She ran okay first time out. A 72 buyer and her first star as a 2-year-old. Those numbers can be 85s to 90s when they run. And then the next time out, she got caught chasing the fast pace in a race that collapsed, the Matron. I don't even think she ran that badly in her subsequent start and comes back late for Mike. I thought, the 4 is way the horse to beat, but going along with the theme of what you're talking about, I want new faces here, and she's the one that I wanted.
I can't argue with any of that. I actually like Miriam's Fire more off of the Matron than I do off of her debut. And I feel like she ran deceptively well in there.
I think she legitimized her maiden win when she ran the second start. Girls Rock might be a little interesting. I think her races are okay out of town, and she's also fits the new face in here. This is a horse my friend Nick Tamaro likes, and I always respect Nick's opinions, especially with prices. Race number 10. I think we have the same opinion in here, and this is no disrespect to La Mejana, and we'll watch the Glens Falls, because if she runs this race, she's not only a cinch here, she might be able to win the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Turf. The problem is it's so much faster than her other races, you have to think the yielding turf came into play.
Yeah, when you take the turf, the course condition into consideration here, you just have to believe that it moved her way up and probably dragged some of these other horses. Look, you can see the horses that are behind her in the screen still. They're struggling here, and she's not. She's just really going on with it. Listen, she ran really well in there, but it
And
does
she had run
feel
really
like,
well two-back, too. I know it wasn't a big figure, but with that pace, she couldn't get a big figure. And her race two-back was extremely good.
I wanted to talk about that race with you, by the way. So, I have maybe a little different opinion about that race.
Well,
than
No
you
Show
did.
Jamie Joe has turned into good as a 3-year, good last year, and
It's
not
that,
going
but
on
it's
with
also like that race. They were walking early in that race, but I think the one thing it's hidden in the running line because that fraction's missing. But the thing that race, from the mile to the mile and a quarter, around that final turn, they went 20. Everybody started running. They went 22 and change.
Right.
Everybody started sprinting, and Pratt outrode everybody in there. He just sat
He
on the
often
rail.
does.
He let everybody go. He rode the rail until they got into the stretch. Then he made his move, and he steamrolled those horses. But I just thought it was a great ride.
It was.
And maybe that more than that than the pace, because they really ran in front of her around that final turn. I just thought she got a perfect trip that day, and then she got another one last time. But I'm not going to sit here and suggest she's not in great form, because she is.
the horse to beat in this
maybe
race.
she's better now than she ever was, but all of her races prior to the last one, they don't give her an edge on this field. They make her the horse to beat, maybe. They don't give her a huge edge on this field. I know that she can be had. I already know that she can be had.
I agree.
And
she is a horse, though, that got a lot of unlucky trips.
She has. She's had
and
some
she's
trips.
finally started to come around.
Yeah.
So I
That could be
wonder
the
if
case.
she was just a little bit dressed down by bad trips. And the thing is, I think you and I are on the same page with Be Your Best. I know she can win, but I just wonder if with some other horses in here, if she's going to be able to get the lead.
Yeah.
And I don't think we'll show her winning the Gamely, which they got to downgrade. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It continues to be a grade 1, and they need to play fairly around the country and stop just downgrading races here and not doing it in California. No disrespect. Her race was bad last time. This is the Gamely, if we can roll it. I mean, she didn't get the lead from Charlene's Dream, and with all due respect, Charlene's Dream's PPs are not very impressive. And I just wonder if she had gotten really good, and if maybe now she's tailing off a little bit. I did not like her last race.
I didn't either. And this race, the more distance we get from the Gamely, like this is a great race on paper, 46, 109. While you're in the field, but doing it in Southern California is a little different than doing it here.
146 for the race. How slow are they supposed to be going?
Exactly. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just not convinced. I liked her at the start. She lost her form for a long time. I respect that Safi's gotten her back into form.
I agree, and I said
just don't like her in this race today. I don't know that she can make the lead in her. I don't care if she makes the lead in her. I don't like her in this race.
Her Long Island is a bit phony. She was with the bias. No-show Chamois Joe should have won that race by 5 lengths 100%. In there. So I wonder if she really wants this much difference. I bet long ago last time you're going to put the horse in third. I give up, but I do respect the Bill Murray horses. They run.
I do too. What? Oh, you bet the horse. Oh, well, you're not going to give her a little bit of a pass for that course condition there? I mean, I don't know. I didn't want to be too hard on her for that. I really liked her prior races, the 2 turf races before that. I thought she ran really well both times. I think she can rebound over firm turf. And thought she was dangerous, but we have the same horse on top. So.
I'm laughing because, he claimed the Klarovich horse in the last race yesterday. And my initial reaction was, what lunatic claimed this horse? And then I actually said last night we were at dinner, and I said, be careful, Bill Murray's like 6 for 7 off the claim with turf horses in New York. So be prepared for her to win her next race, though. Watching her run, I don't know how.
I respect Murray. Yeah, I respect Murray more than anybody, but I don't.
Yeah.
Good luck with that horse.
Well, she has enough pedigree. She probably has a little value as a broodmare. So she probably has sort of a big tag that maybe it's not.
Well, are you going to go with Belezza? We didn't even talk about the horse we have on top in the Glenn Belezza.
Oh, I just think she's good enough to win this race. I'm sorry, good enough to win, and the firmer turf is going to help her in this race.
I think we feel the same way about her. I mean, I just think she's good.
I thought she's run well in all of her races, and she ran behind. She feels pretty and ran really well in New York. And I think getting to firm turf, the race that she ran coming up the fence in the Sheep's Head, I think can win this race. And if you think that La Mejana is not going to come back and run, to me, she's the alternative in this race, and she's the right horse. Right. I think.
I said we talked about everybody else. And
you're right.
Moved on.
Okay, a bunch of key scratches in race number 11, particularly. I think it's Ornelas to Wine. Mm-hmm. We'll take a look starting with Mythical over Meringue. And I will say one thing about Mythical. She is the kind of horse that all the wise guys, including us today, I didn't try to beat her last time. Everybody else did, and I'm not gloating about picking an even money shot. But I think she's pretty damn good.
I agree.
I think Tommy Joe may be better, but I think this horse is good.
Yeah, I agree. She deserves respect in this race. She's fast. She's already a 2-time stakes winner. She's already beaten the boys. She's already run a 93 by her speed figure. I mean, you watch this race that we have up on the screen right now, the Adirondack, a race that she really couldn't lose. And I don't think you're going to be blown away by her performance there, but she just did what she had to do in that race and won really easily.
Yeah, I think she's very dangerous in here. I don't want to just assume, because what's going to happen is we show Tommy Joe, and I like Tommy Joe, as do you. I don't think she's going to be 2-1. I think she's going to be. Well, don't forget Ornelas scratch, but I think there's not 2-1 and 5-2. I think she's going to be 6-5 or less, and I think maybe she should be. This was a crazy impressive performance.
She was so good in this race. I mean, just the way, especially the way that she does it. Like, it's not like she just blasted off to the front and ran a field off their feet. She just sat on the outside. She always looked like she was going to win. She walked right up on those horses on the turn. I mean, she was just super impressive. It's also worth noting that was the other 2-year-old race at 6 furlongs that day was for Colts, and she went, she went way faster than they did that day. I mean, just all around a super performance. She's come back and she's worked tremendous out of that race.
And I like horses that 2-year-olds that win like that, because she's not a need the lead type. Exactly. She draws well towards the outside. Yeah. She's the goods in here. You've got the 5 Percy's Bar second. I think she could, with a little more distance, improve.
I hope so. We'll see what happens. For a long time, when I was making my picks and writing the analysis for the form for this race, I had Percy's Bar on top, and I was going to take a shot against Tommy Joe with her. I ultimately changed it up, but this horse, both of her races, I don't care about the figures at this point. Both of her races are visually impressive. I mean, this filly can run, and she, as far as I can tell, I haven't seen any of her works, but she's training very forwardly for a guy who knows what he's doing, Ben Colebrook. He's not a household name. He knows what he's doing.
And he's not. He knows who he's coming here to run against.
Yeah, he does.
He understands who's running. It is a grade 1. Do you think Cena, the 6, had a chance? Another horse that Nick thought was interesting. I know they're slower races, but once again, I don't want to get too caught up in the speed figures that 2-year-olds are running because these horses can and often do run a lot faster. And also, the one thing I'll say about Tommy Joe in here, and I'm not saying I expect it to happen, I like her, but the races where short-priced horses in these stakes with 2-year-olds run the poorest are second-time starters, fillies. Look at that horse that lost for George Weaver. That I'm talking about the good Turf Spring filly. Though I thought she should have won. She took a step backwards.
She did.
I'm thinking about, over the years, I've talked to Beyer about this, and he said some of the biggest regressions he'll see are second-time starting fillies. I'll give you one. Serengeti Empress ran terribly in the Schuylerville, and then she came back in her third start and won one of those races, the Iroquois or something, at Churchill by 17 lengths. Here's one. Separation of Powers ran lousy in this race after that great debut. So sometimes they come back and they just don't run quite as well. I'm not saying that I expect that,
but it's something to think about at a horse who's going to be a really short price. The thing with Cena, and I like all the things that you said about. I like that she's going to be a price. I like that she's wicked fast.
She's got a pedigree.
And I like that she has a huge pedigree. What I don't like is that, just based on her 2 races, she's going to come out of there.
She's going to be sitting outside of Mythical. She may have a
problem.
Mythical.
They're going to race here.
For her.
And the other thing that I feel like you can't overlook in races like this and in the Hopeful, these are 7-furlong races, man. And these horses don't. I mean, the 2-year-olds, the way 2-year-old racing is conducted now, these horses have zero foundation. You're coming in here to go 7 furlongs off of 1 or 2 starts. It's not an easy thing to do, man. You got to be fit to do it. And if you're going to go fast up front too, it's double tough.
It's a long stretch. We'll see what happens. A very interesting spinaway. Really, the first race I remember as a kid seeing Ruffian win the spinaway in '74. That was. She was the one horse I knew about the first time I went to the track. Race number 12. I thought race number 12 was really interesting. I was sure that we would land the same horse in this race, though it's sort of close. We do have to start with what you're talking about. And I think it's fair to suggest that the wet track had something to do with the performance. Now, I don't think we're going to see a 106 Beyer from this horse again, but his low to mid-90s races in this race make him a major player in here. I just didn't want to pick him on top, but he's the horse to beat.
I guess he is. I don't even have him in there anymore.
No?
I'm not sold on this horse. I know this is we're watching a grade 3 win right here. This isn't a grade 3 race. He ran fine.
Except he beat Surveillance. Right. And Surveillance is pretty hard-knocking. He's in here. And
he's not a great stakes horse.
No, he's not a great stakes horse, but he is a tough horse that shows up all the time.
So, issues with what you're talking about. I just don't think he's as good as he might look on paper. That's one of my issues. He's going to be the favorite in here most likely. And the horse that you have on top, and a wide second, beat him fair and square.
I agree.
Did he not beat him
we'll
fair and
skip
square
the other
day?
video, Eddie. We don't need the other video for this race. Sorry. I agree. Got a good trip to do it, but I thought beat him fair and square that day as well. I mean, I think Lane has ridden this horse well. He's on the turf last time, forced to chase the slow pace. The commentator is a 1.1 miles. He actually ran pretty well at 1.1 miles. He's a sprinter,
He's a
closing sprinter.
Yeah.
And he is, he's running behind Bank Frenzy. He's keeping great company. He's running. The only race he didn't run that well was the Sheriff Bianco win when nobody showed up in that race except for Sheriff Bianco, who's now a $45,000 claimer. I just think he had consistently good form.
Yeah, and he's also, the last 2 times they went turf to dirt with those, so he won both of those races, including when he beat What You're Talking About. I mean, they go turf to dirt, and he handles it. I don't know.
I got a lot of love for this horse.
And he's going to be a price, too, which makes it even better. I just stuck with Victory Way. I don't love this horse. I was just sort of, I'm against What You're Talking About. I know Surveillance, when I actually think Surveillance is the horse to beat.
In a way, he's consistent.
He's consistent. I know what I'm going to get. I just don't want to pick him on top because I know I'm not going to bet him. So I'm not going to pick him on top. I'll admit that I've been doing a little chasing of Victory Way. He probably gets no more chances after this for me. But I think he fits perfectly well in this race. He's got speed from the outside.
Great post. He's run fast races.
He's got a top race that will beat this field.
I agree. I don't have any argument with that. The thing with rookie card, last time was the time for him.
How did he go up at 12
and he's got to deal with the speed of the 7. The weird horse in here is Warstride that you and I left out because if you erase his last race, he's one of the favorites in here. And his last race was abysmal. On the other hand, he ran so badly
Right.
that it's a little hard to believe. And it is George Weaver who's having yet another great meet in Saratoga. His horses are really running. And he does feel like a horse that you and I didn't pick that could not, I don't want to say surprise us because I don't think we'll be surprised if he runs well, but he could sort of upset the apple
Absolutely.
cart.
His last race was so bad that it probably pushed me away from him. But if he runs his races 2 or 3 back, he's right there in this race.
So race number 13, when I made my selection, I was texted David Aragona and I said, I'm going to pick Rothschild in the last. This was like last week, during the dark days. Except I know that Beer is going to like this horse because you might be the only person that likes Jimmy Toner more than I do.
Yeah.
And then you didn't pick him.
No, I didn't like him.
I was wondering if the blinkers off last time is why he ran as badly as he did at a mile and a quarter, too. You have taken the 2 Candy Town, who I do think's a little interesting.
Yeah, I
got some ride last, some trip, I should say.
I have to bet this race. Yeah, I have to bet this horse in this race. Yeah, I won't. I'm with you on the ride last time. I won't blame Saez for it because I do feel like
the pace
he had
did
a plan.
He had no. He just
had
couldn't
the outside
clear.
post.
They went
He
too fast.
sent this horse, and he thought he was making the lead.
Wasn't his fault.
And 2 horses went inside of him, and he just got stuck on the outside. I'm giving him a pass for that one. I really liked his debut, where it almost feels to me like he cost himself a win there. He was really green still in that race, especially in the late stages when he was making the lead. And by the way, I think the horse that beat him that day, Super Times.
He ran really well in
I
there.
think he's a good horse.
Yeah,
and then he hasn't been back on turf yet, but I think he's a good horse.
He got rained off.
He got rained off.
Yeah. I think I liked him
and
too.
And he broke his maiden off turf, but
Right.
he's a good horse. And there were other good horses in that race. And this horse ran that day, but he was super green. I don't care about the dirt race, but he ran fine in that his second start. And he was just way more put together when he broke his maiden. He got a great trip in that race, but he ran. I think this horse is good. I think he's way better than he looks on paper. He's going to be a prize. I can't wait to bet this horse.
I'm going to ask a sort of related but tangential question here. Hey, Meg, I think we're on the other set, aren't we? Aren't we on the other set? Oh, okay. Just a little
being
aside,
friendly.
people.
You're not used to people
Meg is
being
great.
friendly?
We love Meg.
All right.
I was surprised you don't have Stars and Strides anywhere in your picks in the Saranac on Monday. The Saranac's a really fun race.
It is.
And I agree with you. The horse you picked in there is interesting. But I thought that the last race, that the pace was falling apart at the end. At least Stars and Strides kind of made the first move into the pace. I thought that was a lot better performance than it looked like. And I knew you liked this horse, and I was surprised because I like Stars and Strides.
Gotcha.
You didn't have him anywhere in there.
Yeah, that
last time was the time.
That's a good. Yeah,
it's a good
maybe
horse.
That's a good horse. That's a good field.
That's a really fun race.
That's a good race.
That Saranac on Monday is a really, really, really good stake race. I thought the sprint tomorrow is really interesting too on the turf. The disco partner. As far as we're going to show the debt limit race, and I think you have to acknowledge that you're really against these, and I'll find out why. I mean, then who won this race? He's a stakes horse. I mean, his last race was very good. But you've got to keep an eye on Danny's horse, Ramblin' Wreck, because he's making a move between horses, and the race was collapsing a bit. But this horse just gets completely stopped in here. And while Debt Limit got the clear run on the outside, and maybe he's a better horse, he's lightly raced. I mean, Ramblin' Wreck, at least he showed some life in there and was just completely eliminated.
I 100% agree with that. But he is Ramblin' Wreck. And
I know.
He's the horse who gets trouble trips like that because he has 0 speed. He
Debt
always
limit
has to pass the whole field. And I don't know, that horse isn't for me just because I don't like his running style, particularly for this race. And as far as Debt Limit goes, who I got him in there, but to me, I think Debt Limit really wants more distance. I don't think he wants less. I think mile and an eighth and beyond is what he really wants. And so that made me turn a little bit against him in there. You have him on top.
I agree with you, though. The 12 is dangerous. Yes, I do. I scratched it. I scratched out of the 8.
I just feel like he wants to go a little longer than this, but we'll see. Could be wrong about that.
Main Beach, I think, is a little dangerous in this race. I mean, second off a layoff, has run some good races earlier in his career, training at Monmouth. He could be dangerous. I didn't love his last race.
I didn't either. I liked his early form. I can be lenient for the last one because he was off a layoff. I thought all in all that trip really worked out for him, and he just was second best in there. He ran fine. I don't love him. It's a Chad Brown horse that I don't love. He's not going to be a great price. He's got post 12, whatever. I don't know. He can win. He doesn't have post 12 now. He's got post 10, but
whatever.
I don't know. The longer I looked at this race, the more I liked the 2. I'm betting the 2.
Yeah, I considered putting him on top. I was enamored with the 8, so I went 8 over the logicals and put the 2 fourth, and now it sort of changed with the 8 scratching. Mike, it's been a great pleasure having you back. We will do more of this in the future. Look forward to that happening as well. Of course, you can follow Mike Pick in the Daily Racing Forum, and you're having a sensational meet.
It's going pretty well so far. I could still screw it up. I got 3 days to screw it up. There's only a million races left to be run.
I was doing great until about 3-4 days ago, and I'm doing a good job of screwing it up as well. But we've got 3 days as well. It's great fun and stuff going on. And Mike, thanks so much. Thank you for watching. Head over to Naira Bets. Use the promo code SPA200. We'll match the $200 of your initial deposit. We have a 20% exacta bonus at Del Mar if you're playing day. Of course, Pacific Classic Day. A lot of stakes on that card. Pacific Classic, I believe, is scheduled to post around 9 o'clock Eastern time tonight. I'll be eating and drinking and watching the Pacific Classic. I can still remember sitting at the bar eating when Flightline won and watching it on my phone and looking at it and going, oh, my God.
Yeah.
I mean, similar feeling I had. We were at dinner, I remember the night, watching when Beholder ran that unbelievable race, when she ran it. A couple of incredible performances by two great horses. What else do we got? We got the cross country. 2 at Monmouth, 3 here, 3 stakes in that sequence. Starts at about 4:14. We have New York Pavilion. Check that out over by Gate A in the Family Zone. Lots of great stuff from the state of New York. The quarter zip giveaway tomorrow. You'll want to come for that. And a great card tomorrow. The best jockey. It's the best jockey club I can remember in a long time. And finally, we are on YouTube. Then we are on Fox Business, and then we are on YouTube. Actually, I don't think we are. Actually, you are on the right set, I think. That's tomorrow, I'm thinking. Meg and I are on early tomorrow. All right. Mike, thanks so much. Great to see you. Great to have you on. Appreciate everything. Frank Miramati's got his hands full. 3 days left, but he's got a big card today, a big one tomorrow, and a fun closing day as well. Beautiful weather. Enjoy Saratoga. Frank Miramati up next with a reprise of the Scratches and Changes.
You bet with Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. Download the Naira Bets app to play today and get a $200 deposit bonus. Watch live horse racing. Get expert picks. Boost your bankroll with weekly promotions and hone your handicapping skills with exclusive tips and tutorials. Download the Naira Bets app now. Sign up now to claim your $200 deposit match bonus. You bet with Naira Bets.